Hey, this is Willie. Got a little bit of a daily driver update. This is the car I've been driving. My dad was driving this car, and it started to develop an issue where it didn't like to go in reverse when it was cold. So he had invested some time and money into another car. I'll show that in a minute. But he got another Saturn SL1, and this was a spare, and when my Buick was finally done, I was driving this car for a little over a year now. Don't know what the mileage was when I got it, when I started driving it, but it's got 247,300 miles on it now. And the inspection's due to run out very soon. And this car has a leaking radiator. The flex pipe is leaking on it. And there's a short in the park light circuit, so every now and then it wants to pop a fuse for the park lights, so I have to carry extra fuses with me for this car. So to invest money into it, it's for the mileage that's on it is not really worth it. You can buy pretty nice versions of this car for $2,000. I'm not going to invest $1,000 into a car with 247,000 miles on it. And I had already had to weld in floor panel because there's actually a rust hole on this side, and this rocker panel is getting ready to burst open. I mean, I could probably peel this away and there'd be a hole. I also had to put a plate on the underneath here, underneath the car, to cover up a rust hole to pass inspection last year, and this doesn't help either. I have to push the handle down on it, get it closed. So yeah, it's been a really good car. I mean, it still runs good. Check engine light came on because the exhaust is leaking. Still has the original radio in it. Clock still works. Gotta play with the key a little bit. Not even gonna put gas in it. Yeah, you can see the mileage right there. Still runs good, and if you look, the check engine light isn't on right now. It comes on as you're running it, but it does go on and off. Only thing that doesn't work, or the few things that don't work, the list of few things that don't work, is the mirror adjusters broke out of it, so it's got tape stuck in it. But most everything works in here. Heater works. The AC quit working a few years ago. Something was leaking Freon, just never fixed it, but it was working for majority, I mean, all the way up till a couple years ago. Handbrake still works. Only fluid it's leaking right now is the radiator fluid, but it doesn't leak any oil, doesn't burn any oil. Engine still runs great. The gauges read good. All the tires are good on it. But we're not going to get rid of this car because this will be good for parts. But, you know, with the bad exhaust and the bad radiator and then inspection coming out, it's just not worth it. So I'll show you what my car, or what my dad's driving now. This is what he used to drive. Hang on a second. Oh, and by the way, he can't wait for the car to get off the road because he wants the speakers out of this car too. But he's going to put them in his other car. I'll show you. This is the car he started driving. A little bit fancier model, but 1 year older. The AC in this car quit working last year, and he might fix it, I don't know. Paint's a little bit nicer shape, at least until you get up to the roof. Sunroof is glued shut because it's leaking. And this one has the electric windows and electric door locks on it, the other car does not. And it's got the very similar rust back here as the other car. This one's actually got a hole in it, but we'll just cover that up if we have to get it to pass inspection. Technically it's not into the cab, so it'll probably pass. Plastic fenders just don't rust away on these cars. I don't know what the mileage is on this car. I think it's like in the 150s. I'll have to take a look because this has a different, this has the old analog gauge in it, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 153 on it. Still runs good. as I was saying, this is the car he's been driving. He's got good inspection on this one. Unfortunately, the tires on the other car are a different size than these. These are 15s, the other car is 14s, so can't use those. So yeah, this is a car. It's in nicer shape. The underneath isn't as bad on this car as it is the other car. It's just that one spot, which we're going to be spraying it with some oil to keep it from rusting any further. But that being said, the inspections run out in the other car. Hence the reason for the video. I got this old Buick down here we're going to be getting going. That'll be my daily driver. It's a 1992 Buick Lesabre. It's got a 3.8 liter V6 in it, automatic, so it's got the nicer engine in it. It's got some rust under here and back there. There's a few flaky spots, but this car has 111,000 miles on it. And it's not a cherry, but it's not too bad under here. I mean, I could put some struts on here without too much trouble. The brake lines aren't in the best of shape, so I have to replace brake lines on this car, and I also found out I have to replace the training cooling line on this car. Okay, just a word of caution. This has some graphic images coming up. So for those of you that are squeamish, look away. We got some rust under here, but nothing serious. Training line is leaking right here. And the other one looks like it's going to be getting bad up by the transmission, so I'm going to replace both training cooling lines under here. And I have a bucket of brake fluid over here. Let me see if I can't get turned around and up underneath there better. Here's the 4 brake lines. Right back there. And that line right there is the one that's leaking. Here, let me get the light on so you can see a little bit better. There you go. You can see the line leaking right there. The other ones aren't looking too good. One line's been replaced. But I'm going to go ahead and put stainless on here and be done with this. So I don't have to worry about brake lines ever again. The lines outside of the fender wells aren't too good, so I'm just going to replace them all in the front. It's got some issues. The wind deflector's broken off. It's been beat around the bush a few times. But the air filter looks good. The oil's in need of being changed. It doesn't have any misfires. The check engine light is not on it, so all the wiring seems to be intact. The AC has been deleted on it, unfortunately. I don't feel like putting everything back in. You can see the reservoir is still there, but everything else has been taken out. So I'm not going to worry about getting that up and going. Even then, for how rusty the car is, I don't think this car is going to last more than 6 years, so long as I keep it oiled up. I don't know. I need to get some headlight bulbs for it, because the headlight bulbs were taken out on both sides. But the radiator seems to be in pretty good shape. No leaks on it, no dents, no white spots or corrosion. So I don't think we'll have any problems with that. I do have an oil leak on the back of the engine, and that could be the valve cover leaking. They're famous for having valve cover leaks. And the temperature sensor and the oil pressure sensor are not working correctly on this car, so they need to be replaced. Lid for the washer fluid's missing, but I do have a lid for the brake reservoir. I just filled that up to see where the leak was at, which is buried way up under there, so that's not going to be the most... I'd rather just put pre-bent lines in than try and run a bunch of unions to bypass the rusty lines. I want to do it once and be done with it. As for tires don't look bad. However, seems like we got sticky brakes, because that should spin a little easier. So I'm probably going to have to do some caliper services on here. I'm going to be taking these wheels off and see what I have for brakes, but I won't do that on video. but that should spin a little easier than that. I think the park brake might be holding that one. But all the trim's in place. Matter of fact, speaking of trim, all the window gaskets look to be in good shape. Looks like we've had something closing the door here. No, it looks like the trim is just coming loose. I'm sorry. Trim's just coming loose. I'm not too concerned with that. It looks like it's a drip edge kind of a deal anyway. It's still there though, not missing, but all the door gaskets look good. They're not cracked up or anything. I can clean those up and hit that with some trim serum. Keep them conditioned. Doesn't look too bad. I see a lot of these are just all cracked up, so this car must have been garage kept at some point. So the gaskets all look pretty good on this car, and the shocks are still working on the hood too. It's got a lot of dirt in it because it's been sitting for a while, but can't expect miracles for let's see, 92. That'd be this is about the same age as me, 28 years old. It's almost a 30-year-old car. It's not in too bad a shape. Haven't seen hubcaps like that before. It's a new one to me. I think I'd rather put some aluminum wheels on here myself. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. You guys want to hear it run? Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. I'll get you an idea on what it sounds like at least. Show you some of the stuff inside. Now, I know it's leaking fluids, but it is what it is. I can clean it up. Oil pressure gauge works pretty good for the most part, but sometimes it gets in and it's a little glitchy moments, but the temperature gauge is not working on this. And the outside temperature is not 100% accurate, but it is registering. It's a shame the AC doesn't work because it does have the climate control, and the radio came with it. So let's see what we have for electric mirrors here. We're going to put that over to the driver's side here. See if that moves. Oh yeah, that's out. That's in. That's up. That's down. Let's try the other side. That's up. That's down. That's right. That's left. So the electric mirrors are still working. It also has electric windows here for the controls for all 4 windows here. All the windows are working. And I have not tried the seat controls. So let's see, we got tilt. Yep, tilt is working for on the front driver's seat. That's up and down is working. Forward and backwards is working. Wow, that's awesome. It still works. Let's see, seat tilt. Yep, all of the seat controls are still working on the car. That's unbelievable. How about the other side? That's forward, that's back, that's up, that's down, that's tilt. Look at that. Seat works. All the controls are working. That's unbelievable. That's awesome. All the seat controls still work. 28-year-old car and everything works. Even the radio. If we look out the back, we'll see the antenna going up. Antenna still works. And the radio still works. Got quite a few different options on it. I tried taping the screen on. I wound up having to glue. I need to clean that up. The screen kept coming off in the heat, so I did goop it, and then the goop was holding fine. I just have to clean the mess up on it. Reverse camera does not work, but I'm not too concerned with that. It's pretty easy to see out of this car. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's still charging the battery too. Came with a full tank of gas. I have to see if I can't glue that thing back on or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Horn still works and everything. Lights still work with the exception of the bulbs being missing. But yeah, I'm very happy with this car. Everything all said and done. I just ordered the lines for this thing. I'm going to have, with the cost of buying the car, doing the title transfer, and buying all the lines and the oil change and everything, I think I'm going to have about $1,000 into this car. So for $1,000 everyday driver, I think that'll be a pretty good win. So I'm going to be plucking away at that. That'll be my new daily driver coming up until I get my truck on the road. And who knows, maybe I'll give this to my dad when I'm done with it, when I get my truck on the road. Because I don't really want to insure 2 vehicles with the C. So, hope you liked that video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And thanks for watching. Have a good day. And bye.